I thought this morning's call was quite good. I thought it was very funny.
Yeah.
It kind of rolled. It flowed very well.
Filled with surprises. Welcome to this episode of the Cool Dad Shirt Podcast. As a follow-up to, I think, our last call, we were talking about dreams, or maybe it was a couple calls ago. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. So you're probably still dreaming. Yeah. You're probably still dreaming of driving your car up a really steep hill in fears of flipping over. And at the time, I had no dreams to report of. Ironically, maybe because we were discussing it, to my good fortune, I wound up having a dream a couple nights later. And my dream was that they redid the local grocery store. And that was my dream. That was the big opening number. I haven't had a dream in years. The first one I have is them redoing the local King Cullen.
Oh, you got to shoot a little higher, man.
Speaking of neighborhood, I don't know if you happened to see Jay's most recent post.
Yes, I did. Oh, I totally. I hope he's listening now.
I hope. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not allowed to have my phone where I work. It's in a confidential secured area, so I can only check it periodically. I remember stepping out at lunch and watching it, and I wanted so badly to send it to you. Like, can you believe this?
Yeah.
And then I forgot and didn't send it to you. But yeah, you can't unsee that, can you?
No, it was fantastic. And he's
it.
really pushing the envelope these days. Talk about courageous.
Bravo, Jay. Bravo. Yeah. For the listeners, he does an audition. So Jay is a comedian. He lives on my street, and we had him on the show a much earlier episode, and he was great. And he goes in, so a little sketch they do. He and his partner they do. He comes in to do an audition for Naked and Afraid. And his bit is about as literal as it sounds, and he kills it. It's great.
Yeah, we'll put his link in the show notes again,
we will.
So you can check it out. I did recently apologize to my daughters. I don't know.
Yeah.
I often, if they're not looking, I'll steal their cell phone and I'll go hide it somewhere.
I love that idea.
And I do it often enough, so they're kind of on to me. And a lot of times, they'll see me do it, and then I'll run and go ditch it somewhere. I realize that, my stage in life, these are probably things that, are pretty immature, but I love doing it, and I love having that fun with them. And
yeah, well, I think it's important to have that kind of engagement. And that's how I think you're really doing it right when you can do that kind of stuff. But I'm sure they appreciate the goofiness, even if they're super irritated at the moment. These are memories they will keep forever.
Rich, it's not often we have in-person guests.
Oh, what do we got?
Something's happening over here. Oh.
Is that him? Yeah.
That's Rich. You got to lean in so you're on camera.
I can't.
No, that's okay.
There you go.
Hi, Nancy.
Rich said hi.
Oh, she doesn't have headphones on.
Hi.
No headphones. I'll have to translate. I didn't have the guest configuration set up here. This is very impromptu.
She wasn't listed on the roster?
I didn't. I checked. We're not scheduled for any guests this evening.
We got to do some process improvement here.
Yeah,
that's always good.
Right, I don't want to interrupt you guys, but why is it so cold out here? I'm not a fan.
No, I don't feel it. I'm comfy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it is 59 down here, but I am.
Oh, that is chilly.
I'm very comfortable.
That's really okay.
Can you hear me?
He can hear you. If
I can hear you. Yeah.
Rich, you haven't aged a day.
Oh, wait.
That's not true.
Hold on. Get into the microphone.
You two make me
Wait,
very
say that over
upset.
again.
I said you haven't aged a day. It's hard enough dealing with my husband. Everybody tells me all the time, is Michael getting younger?
I actually spent $30 on a very flattering light. It erases all my crow's feet. I have a hat on. You can't see how much hair I've lost.
I'm going to give Mike back his little headset. Rich, love talking to you.
You as well. We'll catch up soon. I got to get down there. I'll do that at some point.
Yes, please do. Please do. We could have some fun.
Rich, you look so young that that's a new show opener.
That's the cold open. Yeah, but hey, hot moms love us. There's proof.
They dig us. I had, let's see. I was going to tee up some Deftones, but I'll skip it.
Oh,
for now.
yeah.
Here we go. Deftones. There's some great tunes out there. Man, such good stuff. And you don't have to sit through any guitar solos.
Best of all.
Best of all. There's not many guitar solos on Deftones songs.
It's funny how bands kind of make that happen or not happen. And sometimes you don't even realize it till somebody points it out and says, this band doesn't do guitar solos. And hey, if you got a well-crafted song, it probably, well, I shouldn't say that either. I mean, it's a great guitar solo. It's a great guitar solo.
It must be a conscious choice.
Well, even the band Creed, remember? I didn't even notice it till somebody pointed out that they had no guitar solos. It wasn't until Tremonti went over to Alter Bridge where he finally got his solo fix on, and he's a great guitar player.
I was doing some drum play-alongs to Creed the other day, as a matter of fact.
Oh, they get a lot of flack, but they got some good stuff.
But they do have some good music. And the other one, I was trying to think, who do I always confuse them with? I don't know why, but I always confuse them with Candlebox. I don't know why.
Definitely the same era.
Yeah, I think that's about it. But I'm always confusing. Is Candlebox the band everybody makes fun of, or is it Creed? I'm not sure. Do you ever listen to something and wonder, and this shouldn't really matter, but you ever wonder, like, is this uncool that I'm listening to them? Is this not a popular choice?
No, I mean, listen, I kind of like Hootie and the Blowfish. Please don't tell anybody that. But there are great, well-crafted, simple, guitar-driven pop songs. They're wonderful.
Yeah, and I think I worry about more like if you say, man, I love progressive rock, Linkin Park is like, my favorite band. Are people like, dude, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, man.
Without further delay, did you purchase a coffee this morning?
I did. And why don't you recall the story? It's sitting right here. I can't wait to try it, although I was a little confused walking up to the counter. So why don't you recap? I don't even know if I got the right drink, but why don't you recap the story and we'll dive in.
Starbucks was advertising a coffee that included olive oil. We were curious as to what that would taste like, and we decided to sample it on one of our shows. We are about to sample taste the Starbucks Oleato.
Yeah, and I walked up to the counter this morning, and I said, I don't know how to pronounce this drink. I said, can I try one of those Starbucks Oleatos? And she's like, oh, you got it. I said, oh, good. She goes, do you want the milkshake or the latte? And I said, man, I'm pretty sure I want the latte. I don't. And so they charged me $43, and I came home with the latte. Yes.
It's funny when you go there, and order a drink, it's almost as if coffee is the least amount of ingredient in them.
Yes.
Everything's got 9 varieties of milks and sugars and syrups. And then if you want, we could throw in a little coffee. It's last on the list of ingredients.
It is last, yes. So, yeah, I got a small. It was like $6.20 or something like that. It was nuts. How do people do it?
All right, here we go, Rich.
Our first sip. Ready?
Our first sip. Okay, here we go. What are you thinking?
Viscous. It's very viscous.
Oh, no.
Do they give these out before an endoscopy?
I was going to say. Did you want to dunk some Italian bread in yours?
That would probably be the olive oil is very present.
Is it?
Yeah, it's we got the same thing, right? It's
I was going to say
latte.
Mine tastes more like a chai tea latte.
Oh,
I ordered the Oleato, and they said they did not have any. So it was after I ordered Nancy's drink, and I didn't want to be a jerk and pull away, so I had to order something. So I got a chai tea latte, and Nancy was very kind enough to offer to go out and run out to another Starbucks to get me an Oleato so I can participate fairly in this conversation and discussion.
Oh, okay. All right. So you really have one.
No, I don't. I really don't have one. So she was going to go, but the other closest Starbucks is probably a good 20 minutes away, and I'd want to wait or have her show up in the middle after you've already sipped yours. But really, this is unfortunately a chai tea latte. They did not have an Oleato, and I feel bad. I'm not trying to punk you, but I had to get something since I already ordered her a drink, and I didn't want to pull away.
This is even more funny. Yes. Well done. All right. Well, it tastes a lot like olive oil. It is, I'd put this at maybe like a 10W30 for weight and viscosity. I'm not sure if I like it yet. I do really like olive oil, and I do like coffee. Hold on, let me have another sip. I'm not sure. I might be able to acquire a taste. I'm not sure I'm falling in love with it at the moment.
You could certainly taste the olive oil, though, huh? It's not.
Oh, that's the most prominent. No, the most prominent flavor is olive oil with a little coffee at the end.
So I wonder if that stands out more because you don't add sugar to yours. I wonder if the sugar sort of dials that back and tames it a little bit.
Well, I just popped the top. I'm looking. Yes.
You know
what? Well, your point is. Oh no! I can see it's kind of bubbly on top. But to your earlier point, I'm not really sure how much coffee is actually in this. It's a very thick and creamy olive oil thing that may be somewhat close to a coffee. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, I'm sorry that I was unable to deliver on my end.
No, your story was actually funnier. No, I'm kind of glad how it turned out. Mine tastes like a chai tea. Wow, that's really weird.
Yeah, it's fun. I don't know who made mine at my Starbucks, but mine tastes just like a chai tea.
That's funny.
I will try one just out of curiosity.
Oh, it's disgusting. Try this.
I'm getting a hint of chai in this.
Mine's closer to a tea. It's strange.
Yeah, mine's sweeter. Yeah.
At the front of nose, it's kind of chai-ish.
Has a bit of a chai bouquet.
On my palate, it's a little bit more like tea, actually.
You are listening to the Cool Dad Shirt Podcast with Rich and Mike.
And speaking of chai tea lattes, that brings me to my next topic on the show, the receipt of this fantastic chai tea latte candle that was delivered to me. As much of a surprise as it was to you that I was drinking a chai tea today.
That's what blew my mind. Were you just sniffing the candle?
Pretty nice. Exactly like chai tea. I have not lit it. It certainly smells excellent.
I will let Michelle know that it finally made its way to Cool Dad Shirt Studios South, and all is well.
I didn't know how to approach the next topic, Rich. So I'm going to mention a couple names, Rich. You let me know if they mean anything to you, okay?
Oh, no.
All right. Caitlin Clark.
Am I going to comment on each?
All right, I'll go through
that. Does not sound familiar, no.
Okay, all right. Matt Rempe.
No, sorry.
All right, this last one will probably give it away. Jason Kelsey.
Okay, so that's yes. That's Travis Kelsey's brother.
Okay. Yes. Those were all top athletes and most news noted athletes in the last week.
Okay.
In the sports field, which is why we don't talk about sports much on this show.
You could just see how that just failed. I'd actually heard of Travis Kelsey before the whole Taylor Swift thing, but obviously he's in the spotlight.
This is definitely why we don't talk more about sports. These three individuals have been all over the news for the last week. Jason Kelsey, of course, Travis's brother, who's retired from the Philadelphia Eagles. Mm-hmm. Caitlin Clark, she's a 6-foot guard for the Iowa Hawkeyes, and she is decimating all sorts of other player records. So this week she broke Steph Curry's 3-point record for 164 3-pointers in a single season.
Wow, good for her.
So not only is she breaking women's sports records, she's breaking men's sports records. So that was big news. And I think she's an all-time leading scorer with 3,667 points.
Wow.
Pretty impressive stats there.
There you go, Caitlin.
Yeah. Matt Rempe is the 20-year-old Ranger rookie who has been in 4 fights in the last 8 games. And although he's only played 40 minutes and 32 seconds, he's racked up 39 minutes of penalties.
All right, so he's the goon. They send him out on a mission.
Yeah, he's 6'7", 241.
Is a hockey player 6'7"?
Yeah. So on skates, I mean, like 7 feet tall.
Okay, I got to turn this on and watch.
So it seems like he's really only there to fight. I haven't noticed any of his playing ability, but I think he's just there to kind of start fights.
My next door neighbor is a huge Rangers fan. It's on all the time. I'll have to pop over later today and
please
ask
inquire
about it. Yeah, no, good
Matt
tip.
Rempe.
Thank you.
These stats were, I think, as of March 7th. I had looked them up. So at 8 games, he had 4 fights.
Okay.
So just some interesting sports news. I'm trying to trickle it in here, Rich. There's something for everybody.
We're working on our mass appeal. Yes. Well played, Mike. Well played.
Lastly, just rounding out the topic of sports, Mike Tyson is coming back for a fight. I don't know if you saw that.
That I did hear vaguely of somebody half his age or something like that, right? Is that the...
Yeah, Jake Paul is his name.
I don't know if I'd recognize the name, but Mike Tyson, of course, that guy was feared for decades. He was just a monster that destroyed everything in his way.
I think he's in his late 50s. I guess the photos that I've seen on the internet, he appears to be in some pretty incredible shape. This will be interesting. It'll be interesting to see how Mike does. He had a pretty devastating punch, so...
I would actually watch it. Yeah, it's not high on my list either. But if the timing lined up and I was available, I'd check that out.
And I think it's available on like Netflix or something.
Oh,
so that's it. Wrapping up sports news on this edition.
I like the sound of the paper turning over. We're like in the newsroom.
Let me take a sip of my Oleato here, and I'll get back to some breaking news. We probably should have opened with this. You had a gig last night for Rocktoga. I know you've mentioned performing for these in the past. This might be 3 or 4, so tell us about it.
Yeah, Rocktoga is a charity event. Jay, the guitar player in the band, his neighbor sadly had a grandchild that he came to know, and the little girl, Charlie is her name, would pet Jay's dog and stuff like that. And she came down with a very, very serious cancer, and unfortunately, she ultimately died. So the cancer center, the childhood cancer center at Albany Med, is just a wonderful organization. One of my closest friends' wife, Mary Beth, works there, and it's just a wonderful place that helps struggling families get through stuff. So Jay had the idea of creating a charity event with multiple bands, and we've done it a few times outside. This was the cabin fever break in midwinter to kind of get out, and it was a great success. We had a lot of fun. There was lots of prizes. They raised lots of money. Every band just did an amazing job. So we had a Frank Sinatra impersonator open the show, Joe Sinatra. He does a wonderful job. Next was Chris Sanders. He's kind of an acoustic guy. He does some acoustic country type stuff. Followed by Grand Central Station. They're a big party band, wedding and stuff like that. Multiple singers. They just put on a great show full of dancing. And then we rocked the house down on the way out with Superposition and some serious heavy rock.
And you played a rather lengthy set, huh?
I think we did a full hour and a half last night. Yeah, straight through, hour and a half. That's a haul.
Yeah, that was a long night of music, right?
It was like 6 to 11:30. Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
That's a good run.
Yeah, we had a good time. It was at the Park Manor Hotel. There's a new restaurant in there called Seven Bistro, and they were kind enough to donate the space. They had great food, and they were excellent hosts.
Oh, that's nice. And how'd your set go?
We killed it, dude.
Nice. I wouldn't expect you to tell me otherwise.
No, and I was exceptionally. I've been working on my bass tone, and as a huge fan of Geddy Lee, I keep moving in that direction with just enough that mid-range growl that he gets out of that Fender Jazz bass, and I was very, very happy with my tone last night. Yeah,
you were dialed in, huh?
Yep, I got her.
Unlike the Deftones, were there any guitar solos?
There were gratuitous guitar solos. Yes, and they were spectacular. Jay, of course, goes wireless. He walked out to the middle of the room and played behind his head. It was spectacular.
That is fantastic. Yeah. So you only played 3 songs, but your set list was 90 minutes.
Right. Yeah.
Leave it to a guitar player.
I love the guys in my band. Mike, the drummer, did a huge drum solo in the middle, just a very well rehearsed and perfectly executed drum solo. Paul, our singer, is just amazing. We pulled out. We actually played a very non-guitar solo, so I will follow by U2, and he had the bottle glasses, and he just kind of became him, and it was just a great night all around.
That's great to hear. And you guys raised some money, most importantly.
We did.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it was a great event.
That's all I got, Rich. That's all I got. My well is dry this week.
Yeah, no, but I think we ticked a few boxes there. I think we're in good shape. No, I think we got it.
Yeah. We'll put something together.
I'm going to pour the rest of the $6 drink down the sink and go make myself. I'm going to go make myself a real coffee, like a real man. All right, well, let's call it there. Yeah, it's
put a fork in it.
Put a fork in it. It is done.
Three out of 10 shenanigans on this episode.
Okay.